smoke and haze, definitely the story. 40s and 50s on the peninsula. Midday hits at 60s near the water. Meanwhile, hazy and 75 in Carmel Valley, and then into the late afternoon, that's when the skies are going to start turning that orange and golden. Once you start hitting 3 and 4 o'clock, temps will be into the 60s for you near the water. We'll see the fog coming back in overnight. Talk a little bit about why do golf balls have dimples? Does it really help the golf ball fly? Does it make it travel farther? Well, the answer is yes, it does. It makes it travel farther because these little dimples create little turbulence in the atmosphere, which makes it so it has less resistance as the ball is flying. It also builds up higher pressure behind the golf ball than in front of the golf ball, so it has a tendency to travel farther. A little bit of drizzle, a little bit of fog along the coast. Smoke still the big issue, and it continues for the next couple of days. Into the inland, you're going to see the smoke as well after you get rid of the morning cloud cover. But here's what's going on. Our mid-level flow of the atmosphere taking the winds right up from the south, continuing to drag it all the way into northern California. So the smoke plume from the Basin Complex fire and the Indians fire is traveling all the way through the San Francisco Bay Area, all the way into northern California. It's picking up a bit more smoke from the fires burning in northern California, carrying that all the way into Oregon and into Washington state. So the smoke plume continues to plague our area again. One in Rome. Do as the zookeepers do and try to stay cool. Italy's reaching over 100 degrees at this time of the year, so zookeepers making special efforts to keep the animals cool. Elephants splashing around in their own pool while the bears are getting some frozen fruit pops as a snack. Other animals getting frozen fish and yogurts. Meanwhile, the chimps, of course, are getting frozen bananas. What else would they do?
I wonder if the animals in Rome speak Italian. Do you think they do?
I don't think they speak at all. They're animals, Hunter.
Oh, they're animals, sorry. It's the water cooler. Anything's possible.
Tomorrow morning's commute, it is going to be a messy one. And again, the fire chief said, if you can stay inside and just weather this storm out, that is going to be the best option for you because it is going to get pretty nasty here over the next couple of days. You've probably seen the bumper stickers. Artichokes are fun to eat. Well, here's a life-size demonstration. If you haven't tried the artichoke, all you got to do, peel off one of the leaves there, right there, and you just take a bite and you just bite onto the lid and peel it right off of there, and it is pretty delicious. So give them a try. There's going to be plenty out here for the big Artichoke Festival this weekend. Sorry, Artie. Does that hurt too bad? I hope not. All right, let's talk about what's going on with the weather forecast here at noontime. Artie's still got a smile on the face after he ripped one of the leaves off.
Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Hunter. The smoke, you noticed, pushed a little farther off towards the east. So it's really still a problem for the inland, but along the coastline, it looks like the air quality is improving just a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look outside. And this morning, we're finding skies that are clear. We're going to use our Mount Toro Live-Eye camera. I know you can't see a whole lot here this morning, but you're looking out towards the peninsula there, which is a sign that we are seeing better visibility and the air is starting to clean up just a little bit. Still a couple of smoke particles in the air along the coast, but the majority of it is now pushing up towards the northeast and is making its way through the inland parts of the Central Coast. We're into the 50s right now in Santa Cruz, 54 degrees, humidity 90%. Winds that are out of the northwest are sitting at 3 miles per hour. The story, some patchy morning low clouds, but air quality, again, improving along the coast. We'll see the fog come rolling back in overnight tonight, so it's going to be a little drizzly and drippy for you tomorrow morning. But, again, we cleared the skies out quite nicely here. And, again, the smoke heading in a different direction. That's why it's still going to be into the inland. So hazy and sunny skies coming your way this afternoon. All right, the storm system that was sitting off of our coastline now pushing into northern California, the weak front sitting right through there, still have this southwesterly direction. Clouds are sitting just off of our coastline. They'll get a bigger push for you tonight and into tomorrow morning. Into the 60s again in the interior, so this is pretty typical what we've been seeing over the past week. Hot in the deserts. It's going to be hot again today. We're going to find temperatures up to about a 111 in Palm Springs, 112 in Vegas, so this heat still sitting here, and this ridge of high pressure is going to start to expand and build back in. As we get towards the middle part of the week, we're going to be seeing triple digits into our inland. So the heat is going to start making its way in, but it's going to be 60s, 70s, and 80s around the Central Coast, maybe a 90 down towards King City throughout the day today. The trough still sitting right in through here. So there's another storm system getting curled up, thrown up over the top. And we've got another little weak disturbance back in through here. We're watching this moisture as it gets pushed closer, and it's going to nudge that marine air back into the Central Coast again tonight. Also keeping our eye on what was Hurricane Boris. This moisture is getting pulled up there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to this. I think most of it's going to go into Southern California just as high cloud cover since it's so far away from the moisture source. We're hoping that's the case. We don't want to see any thunderstorm activity out of it. Don't think we're going to. But again, big old trough sitting out here and that southwesterly push. This is what's going to keep us cool or our temperatures in control over the next couple of days until we get into the middle part of next week when the heat really sets in. Into the 40s, or into the 50s, I should say, throughout the Salinas Valley, 54 degrees. Midday hits upper 60s in Salinas, sunny skies, smoky and hazy for Soledad and King City. Into the upper 80s late in the afternoon in South County. We'll be at 74 degrees for you in Soledad and 65 on the north end of the Salinas Valley. On the peninsula, everybody's into the 50s. Again, some patchy clouds expected to develop here this morning, but by noon, everybody's mostly sunny. We'll be into the 60s near the water, 68 in Carmel, mid-70s for the valley. The sea breeze will cool you down just a little bit in the late afternoon into the 60s. For the north end of the bay, its temperatures running into the 50s with the exception of Felton. We're going to dip down to about 49 degrees here this morning, but as we hit lunchtime, close to 70 in Santa Cruz. We'll be into the 80s in the interior, and we're still holding on to the 80s into the late afternoon. 70 degrees for you in Watsonville. So morning drizzle expected for tomorrow. We're hoping that the cloud cover is going to stay out of the area until around midnight. Then it can start to come in there for the 4th of July, so the fireworks would be in good visibility. But again, looks like it's going to start sneaking back in as we make our way into the afternoon. But if we can keep it patchy, we'll be just fine with that. Doesn't look like it's going to be too bad of a 4th of July, but we are going to find our temperatures warming up as we get into Sunday, and then you see the orange numbers arriving. That's Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's when we start getting into critically thinking about more fire weather, because into the inland, our temperatures go from the 90s to the 80s, back into the 90s, and then the triple digits before you know it, into the middle part of next week, 102. And that is an average of what we're going to find into the inland, which means some of the spots down in South County, you're going to find temperatures that are going to be up around 106 degrees.
That is toasty.
That's very hot.
Yeah, especially for the
very
firefighters.
dry, so it just puts that offshore wind component to it. When you start talking temperatures like this, so you don't have the moisture source into the mornings and the overnight hours. That vegetation loses the moisture very quickly.
Yeah, you bet. Boy, oh boy, scary stuff. Okay.